away. Look at Black, he can't do much, no mana, the free hit is not there. Lian makes it away with a slice and dice combo, can start it off.
It's going to be Antares, the victim of a gank here, but gets the first blood with all the unleashed power spheres.
Trying to disrupt things in. Whoa, look at the damage!
Oh my lord, what was that? A triple kill! This is a quadra! Hello is very low!
Welcome mga summoners sa Garena LoL Collegiate League 2017 Summer Term powered by Lenovo. Challenge what you know. Of course, very exciting kasi mapapanood natin ngayon yung semifinals games ng North Conference. Pero bago yun, papakilala muna kami. Siyempre kami yung casters for today. I'm Mark Ticat, Sam. With me is Chisto. And of course, for our first match ngayong semifinals, it is actually gonna be between HAU University and Bulacan State University. So, interesting kasi magkatabing probinsya lang ang maglalaban ngayon. So, of course, as reflected in our schedule right now, that's going to be a best of 3. Kaya diretsong from game 1 to 3, it's going to be HAU University versus Bulacan State University. Of course, depende din yan sa kung mag-full 3 games ba sila or magagaya rin ba siya kahapon na sa South Conference natin, puro 2-0 games. And so yeah, really interesting that we have that. Of course, later on, it's gonna be UC versus MNHS. So, tingnan natin. Basically, for all our games today, sa dalawang best of 3 natin, dito natin malalaman kung sino ang ultimong makakapasok sa finals ng North Conference.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see BULSU versus HAU. It's a battle of an underdog, I should say, because BULSU, they barely made it into the knockout stage of the LCL. Just winning the last 2 games of the round robin to make that top 4 spot, but up against HAU, a tough opponent today. Let's see, can they come out on top?
Exactly, and if I'm to be honest, probably for this matchup, ito yung pinaka-excited ako. Kasi both sides, these are teams that I really like to look out for. Holy Angel University, they have Toxic, they have Vansu, who are, there you go. So as you can see in our pick and ban right now. So Vansu and Toxic, of course, especially si Toxic, isa yan sa favorites ko nung PGS time nila. Nung
G-Hub.
Yeah, G-Hub, exactly. And Holy Angel University, they're actually yung LCL team nila, partnered rin with G-Hub. And then Bansu as well, very dominant jungler throughout the entire North Conference. Been such a pleasure seeing him. Meanwhile, for Bulacan State University, I've brought this up before. I've met Jors in a tournament way back nung nagsisimula pa lang ako. Tapos ito naman si MP, si Imperial, yung ADC nila. Naging player ko rin before. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. Meanwhile, going into the bans, Corky, Sejuani, and Graga is going to be taken away from Bulacan State University. Gangplank, Jace, and Kha'Zix naman para sa Holy Angel University.
Yeah, let's see how Holy Angel University begins their drafting phase. And, whoa, Ornn. We know Ornn is very highly contested pick as far as the new patch goes because he's shown to be a very versatile champion. Can be useful in a lot of situations, and if HAU does pick this up, it'll be a very strong start to their pick and ban phase.
Not to mention statistically, kung titingnan mo yung Ornn, like, not just for North Conference, pero just in general, like, everywhere sa lahat ng conference natin, sobrang taas ng pick and ban rate. Not just that, but also yung win rate once he does get through pick and ban, kung lumulusot naman siya. Meanwhile, looking at the side of Bulacan State University, we have the Cho'Gath as well as the Orianna.
Yeah, the Cho'Gath will be a tricky matchup into Ornn because Ornn shreds tanks very easily. But with that being said, Cho'Gath, he does scale into the late game. We've seen a lot of those Cho'Gath one-shots with his ulti, and I wonder, will we see that from Chris this game?
We'll just have to see, man. Meanwhile, looks like Karma and Jarvan IV going to be locked in here for both Vansu, potentially for either Toxic or Gian itong Karma na to, because it's a little bit of a flex in Holy Angel University's case. And looks like Bulacan State University going to be locking with the Ezreal. Quick roundup rin ng second rotation of Vance, Twitch and Saya going to be taken away from MP. LeBlanc and Aurelion Sol naman going to be taken away from Toxic. So very clear respect target dance right there onto Toxic and Imperial respectively. Morgana being hovered over by Bulacan State University. So
yeah, it's very interesting that Holy Angel University opted to ban out AD carries even though BULSU already locked in that Ezreal. They're expecting that the Ezreal will go to ice in the jungle, but BULSU, they have the option to move Ezreal to the AD carry position and practically waste 2 bans from Holy Angel University.
Ultimate bamboozling.
Yeah.
Pero tingnan natin Meanwhile, for Holy Angel University, the Tristana and the Taric gonna be locked in for us their last 2 picks for both Drin and June respectively. So indeed, as predicted, this is a Flex Karma which will be sent mid for Toxic. And finally, for Bulacan State University, looks like it is going to be indeed the Ezreal ADC for Empyrean. So instead, Bulacan State University, instead of going for BULSU, going to stick to their guns, going to stick to what their initial game plan was pagpasok nila ito by going for potentially the Ramos kung ilalakin man nila to, and looks like it was going to be the Caitlyn instead. So Ezreal jungle, wasted man.
Yeah, interesting choice of bans here by both Team Fury, but one thing I'd like to point out from Holy Angels University's draft is that they have a lack of damage. All of their damage is bent on Drin, on this Tristana. If this Tristana gets shut down, their comp will just get outscaled once the late game comes.
Indeed, but again, we'll just have to see. I mean, with Holy Angel University, it's almost inexcusable if they allow Drin to fall down, especially when they have elements such as the Karma, such as the Tarek, and technically even the Ornn and Jarvan. So many champions that are geared to protecting this one Tristana. So it just comes to execution, I guess. Meanwhile, for Bulacan State University, interesting. So, muntikan na natin inakala na yung huling pick nila is gonna go for jungle. Tapos yun, it's like, indeed, as you said, if it does transpire na those last two bans from Angel University end up as wasted bans, focusing on MP, then I guess that ended up as the case. So, just have to see.
Yeah, and looking at what I said earlier, Holy Angels University's comp relies a lot on this Tristana pick, whereas for BULSU, they do have the tools to instantly take down that Tristana. They have that Cho'Gath, they have that Morgana, looking for these picks with the Dark Binding.
Let's go ahead and see, though, who is ultimately going to be taking game one. Once again, this is a best of three between Holy Angel University, G-Hub, our first seed into the playoffs for the North Conference, versus Bulacan State University, BULSU, our fourth seed. So, interesting, because as we've been talking about with Crazy Apple earlier, yung coordinator ng LCL, Bulacan State University, to have made it to playoffs, like, they had to go through a tiebreaker, and so it's quite the climb. And if you're gonna look at it, medyo sila yung underdog going into this game against Holy Angel University.
Well, I mean, it's the fourth seed versus the first seed, Arctic. You can really say that they are the underdog, and they made it to the knockout stage by the skin of their teeth. So let's see, will they be able to perform and practically pull off an upset today?
I mean, we have seen that scenario. If you're gonna recall yung Metro West Conference natin, looks like Holy Angel University gonna potentially go for the steal here onto Ice's red buff. So that might slow him down a bit.
Yeah, and that is big for the lineup of Holy Angel University. That delays Ice a lot in his pathing. And Ezreal, being the farm-heavy jungler, he needs a lot of these camps in order to scale into the late game. And knowing that he didn't start his red buff, they know he's hovering around that bot side. They can figure out where he's going to gank first.
Meanwhile, looking at this, that was a hit, a Dark Mining hit from Ralph. Again, when it comes to these Morgana games, like, for some reason, I really look into just how many Dark Bindings actually land and just how accurate those skill shots are throughout the game. I mean, we've seen a lot of Morgana supports being run to the LCL to much success, wherein Dark Bindings are just on point time and time again. We'll see. We'll see if it actually sways things in favor of Holy University. Meanwhile, looks like Ice taking quite a bit of damage there. Might regret having went for that gank, but take note, Drin was chunked to quite the health there. So I guess that is somewhat mission accomplished for Bulacan State University.
Did BULSU overextend? I see their mid and jungle coming to collapse. Will Toxic find anything?
Oh, Toxic is going to be going in. Looks like MP will manage to calibrate his way out of there, but it looks like it will be Ice that goes down as first blood. You know, MP forced to flash away. Looks like won't be further pursued by Holy Angel University, but then again, 1-for-0 first. HAU coming up on top there.
Yeah, great collapse there by Holy Angel University. Able to pick up the kill onto Ice, and I think that was Ice just overextending, trying to go for so much more poke, even though they already burned both summoners from Drin during the initial gank.
Okay, so we're just gonna wait to get back into the game in a while. But yeah, early rotation coming in from Toxic there. So I think it just really goes to show just how coordinated Holy Angel University is as a team. Being able to pull off those early on rotations.
Yeah, and that's why they have the top seed.
Yeah,
We've seen their map movements very crisp. The communication is on point. So BULSU, they have their work cut out for them.
But yeah, it's basically a battle of these two Central Luzon teams happening right here. And I don't know, again, like I mentioned earlier, by history of these players, I have a lot more expectation from Holy Angel University, not just because of the first seed, but also because of the roster that they boost, as well as their partnership with GM, which technically also grants them that insight into how their own pro players play. Well, technically they have Toxic, who was a pro player, so ayun, that's definitely an advantage. And if you're gonna take note, both Toxic as well as BULSU having gone through the Tokyo vs. Finest, if I'm not mistaken, sila yung first seed for North Arizona. For the North.
Yeah, but we're getting back into the game. There's a bit of trading. Ice has no flash.
Yes, Ice is knocked up right there. Looks like Joris managing to
he's alive!
out Ice in time. Toxic trying to take down this Ezra. Looks like he will succeed, but at what cost? He is being chased down by both Joris and Ralph there, but looks like Ralph wasn't necessary as Joris able to ultimately secure the kill, going 2-0 on the Soriano.
Yeah, Toxic a bit late on the roam there. Joris was in a position to help his jungler earlier, and that will mean a double kill over to the Oriana, and that is big in this lane.
And if you're gonna look at it, Toxic versus Joris, in the midst of Toxic rotating towards the bot lane, I think it's very clear how it eventually manifested in what he had to compensate for as a result. And it shows clearly in the CS, 19 to 35 right now. And that's a pretty substantial difference. And if you're going to think about it, Toxic rotation towards bot lane, medyo na void out siya, considering that not only is Joris up in CS, but the fact that he's 2-0 right now, I think it kind of negates that early on advantage.
Oh, the junglers!
Looks like BULSU and Ice will be meeting each other in this drivers right there. Ice taking quite a bit of damage there. Will get the shift out of there. Meanwhile, being chased down by Beerus as well. Chris not able to respond as he's quite low there himself. So will get dived though by both Beerus and BULSU. Double kill for BULSU right then and there. Toxic making a rotation towards top. But yeah, not even needed for nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chris got too low to help out his jungler there, and he gets shot out, but looking back, whoa, will this be a kill?
Yes, that is going to be a stun though onto Route. Meanwhile, Gian managing to help Drin survive and escape. Underturret will be making a recall for now, and yeah, safe and sound.
Okay, looking back at your previous point, we've mentioned that Toxic constantly goes for these roams, but he is down in CS, and that's what you give up if you don't set up properly for a roam. Your lane is going to get pushed in, and you're giving up CS in your own lane to provide pressure for the rest of your teammates.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit tricky there. That last victory by G-Hub, sure, I mean, by the numbers, 2-0, that's definitely good for the overall team, but in Toxic's case, it was a little bit of a waste of time because by the time he went there, the 2 kills were already secured, wasn't able to benefit at least through an assist, and again, this is the scenario wherein this could be the advantage that Joris could capitalize on to make up for whatever Toxic has done in form of successful roams across the map.
Yeah, but given that Toxic is playing Karma, you aren't really relying on him to be the primary carry of your team. Their comp relies a lot on Drin carrying the late game on this Tristana, and Toxic is just going to be a bridger, but whoa, call for Forge God!
Call for Forge God. Ice managing to dodge it right there, but looks like dealing quite a bit of damage onto Ice, but does manage to take him down before he goes down himself.
Yeah, they nearly trade that 1-for-1 there. The Ornn doing so much work, and you need to be very careful when you get close to an Ornn. Once you're in melee range, you deal so much damage. It's actually so deceptive.
In all fairness kay Ice, because if you're going to notice earlier, he was 0-3. So I like that even though that's the case, he's taking the gamble of still trying to push for ganks instead of just power farming to make sure that he keeps up with BULSU. But looks like Rob will manage to take out BULSU here. Manages to catch him out. Will get caught out by Joris, and Rob gets the kill. Thank you very much for the blue buff leash.
Yeah, great cancel there, using the shockwave to cancel out Jarvan's EQ combo. Great use of that ability, but the blue buff though will go over to Ralph in the bot lane as support. Will be very happy to have that blue buff.
And again, gotta give my commendations to Bulacan State University because gaya nga ng sabi ko, BULSU was a pleasure to watch throughout the group stage of North Conference. Pero at the same time, if you're going to notice one of the reasons why he was so dominant, it's because of how proactive he is in denying the enemy jungler. And I think Bulacan State University, having realized that given the time that they had to prepare for the playoffs, went for defensive vision, was able to scout out BULSU as a result, and just denied that. And looks like Bulacan State University at the same time gonna manage to get a dragon out of that as well. So interesting step up here.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. That invade by Vanzu is how he likes to play. Unfortunately, his team wasn't in the position to respond. His mid lane and bot lane were being pushed in, so no collapse from his team will cost him his life.
Man, oh man, a little bit of carelessness right there. I mean, it's still a good strategy to go for, but as you mentioned, it wasn't quite set up in a way that they had the precautions so that in case it does go south for Bantu, there would have been some form of a response. So overall, we'll just have to see how that works out for him. Doesn't necessarily deter either side. Kung titingnan mo yung differences, it's fairly even in terms of kills. Gold as well isn't really spearheading as much. So we'll just have to see. Again, it all comes down to, for Holy Angel University at least, they really want to try to get Drin going on this tournament just so that the rest of Holy Angel University can do their job of making sure that Drin just spearheads the fray for Holy Angel University.
I mean, they are trying to get the Shistan ahead, but versus a Caitlyn Morgana, that's a very safe duo lane. So much range on Caitlyn. And that Black Shield as well is so oppressive in lane. You can't lock her down long enough realistically to actually pick up kills. And, oh, they're gonna go for something!
MP manages to net caliber himself out of there. Looks like being further pursued by Holy Angel University, but unfortunately won't be able to go for it. And man.
Yeah, and like I said, the range coming from Caitlyn, the Black Shield protection as well. There's almost no way you can catch out these two unless you send 5 members. Oh, Beerus, my friend, you are in trouble.
Beerus looks like gonna try to deal it out onto Ice here. Ice managed to dodge the second time. Looks like that will indeed be the case. Flashes a badge and
yeah, some Matrix level moves there, Arctic. Able to dodge out the Call of the Forge God again, but oh, I think Blue Buff will be handed over to Toxic here. I don't think Ice is interested to go for an aggressive invade.
They're gonna try for it. Looks like we'll spot out that 2 members going to the graveyard there. Almost gets to steal. 22 HP remaining on that Blue Buff right there. But yeah, I mean, looks like I like this mindset from Bulacan State University, especially from Ice na, I mean, after going 0-3, it's a pretty tilting feeling, at least if I were in his shoes. But still, showing lots of fight in him, not allowing it to deter him, especially knowing what's at stake here in the playoffs. Able to recuperate great. 2-3-2 right now. That's a great step up. Meanwhile, looks like Ice will be juking it out with BULSU. Is there gonna be Chris a little bit late right there? Was way far to give his jumper.
Garena coming.
Support. Looks like they'll try to go for the rest of the 3 members of Holy Angel University to deal with. Can't George do anything? Looks like they're both low on mana, so he will have to leave Chris for dead, in which case.
Yeah, interesting choice there. They're trying to give the kills over to that Karma. Get her more of those items and help her support Drin once late game comes. Unfortunately there, Chris was late to the rotation to help out his jungler. And they're able to pick up a kill, but George, he has no mana.
George has to be careful. They're gonna get the root. Looks like will be forced to proc the heal. Meanwhile, Ralph is slowly making his way to Toxic. Does get the connect onto that Dark Binding, but can't pursue though. Not enough damage to actually commit to that, or no support whatsoever.
Yeah, great roam there coming from Ralph. Ralph, I should say. But that roam will save his mid laner from any more aggression coming from Toxic. He is forced out of lane though, so he will lose a bit of CS.
It's like Beerus though getting quite the shove here towards the top side. That turret it's done quite a bit of itself. Meanwhile, it looks like we'll get a bit of damage there onto Ice. Take note though, Ralph has started to rotate across this map. Mukhang malayo-layo nilalakbay niya from bot lane to mid lane, making a rotation towards top side. And after the trip, would make a recall back to base.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna pick up the early Moby Boots on the support, you might want to roam around the map, because if you stick in lane and you have Moby Boots, what use does it really have?
This is very reminiscent of Olfu's Wura. If there was one thing that he was known for from the LCL transitioning into the semi-pro scene, it was his heavy roam supports that even a lot of pros tended to respect back when Olfu were under prime. So it's very refreshing to see this similar play style from Bulacan State University's own support. Meanwhile, I'm actually pleasantly surprised because, if anything, like we mentioned, Bulacan State University, the clear underdogs in this game. Pero from what we're seeing, it's actually refreshing in the sense that they were quite messy within the group stage, but it looks like they were able to establish a little bit more control over themselves and as a team. So I like the preparation going into the playoffs.
You did mention the group stage, how they ended that 6-1, and that one loss came from BULSU. So maybe BULSU's house kryptonite.
We'll see. Maybe, just maybe, we have seen those type of instances. I mean, kahit sa mga international scenes, I remember those type of scenarios like way back when Cloud9 were at their prime. Tapos there was one team, Complexity, that was kind of considered their kryptonite because they were at the top of the game. Pero for some reason, when it comes down to playing against Complexity, a low-tier team in the ladder for the LCS at the time, parang silang natatalo. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Complexity won 2-1 total.
Yeah, that's a huge throwback right there a few years back, and I do recall that happening, but looking here, it looks like BULSU, they are poised to move towards the win. As for how quickly will they get the Tristana to scale?
I don't know. We'll just have to see because so far, just an assist. But at least the good thing, of course, is that Tristana isn't falling behind either. So it's definitely something that they can work with. Meanwhile, looks like Ralph will manage to catch up Monsu here. So won't allow Bansu the luxury of getting a gank on the ice though. Gutsy gonna go for a dragon. Luckily, Bansu not having the forethought and actually manages to catch out an opportunity in the form of Shores. But looks like we won't be able to further continue. Toxic is low on mana, and this will be Bulacan State University securing yet another dragon.
Yeah, and second Cloud Drake for Bulacan State University is gonna help Ralph move around the map even quicker. 2 Cloud Drakes and Moby Boots on a Morgana. You can expect her top lane like 5 seconds.
That was interesting coming in from BULSU. Like, that was like the right place at the right time to go for a dragon because Bansu was in the vicinity, like you mentioned, and because there was that temptation to try to go for George, but scared for mid instead of second dragon. Meanwhile, looks like Bansu gonna try to go in onto Chris. Teleport as well, coming in from Toxic. They're trying to converge onto Chris. Chris not even standing a chance to make the escape as Beerus gets the kill.
Yeah, no flash on that Cho'Gath. That just sends a message to the enemy team like, oh, come gank me, I don't have flash. And right there, HAU, but whoa, Drin is caught out.
Man, oh man, Drin though looks like we'll manage to survive continuously. Take note, there is actually a CS difference starting to manifest between this Caitlyn. Oh, that's gonna be the shockwave onto Toxic. The Spirit has been taken down, icing quite a bit of damage. They're gonna try to go for Toxic. Toxic trying to run it out, trying to trade with Ice, but no, looks like Ice will manage to survive. Beerus a little bit in late for the party. Will he try to pursue Ice though? That won't be the case. It looks like Bulacan State University gonna escape with a kill onto Toxic.
Yeah, I think Toxic, he sticked around too long trying to defend that tower 2v1. With that being said, he goes down unfortunately, and what I'm seeing from HAU, they pick to defend this Tristana and try and get the Tristana rolling. But they aren't playing around that bot lane. They haven't been able to realistically set up anything around this Tristana, and it just denies them their win condition.
I agree with you. And if you're gonna notice, like, if anything, karamihan ng naging rotations ng Holy Angel University, most of the action that they've managed to actually push and transpire for is towards the top side. Even, I mean, it clearly indicates it when they get Chris off. And most of the times that Ice did die was towards the top side as well. So we'll just have to see if this potentially deters Holy Angel University from actually reaching their win conditions and achieving them much faster, because there hasn't been any steps taken as far as making sure that Drin is able to hit that full throttle later on in the game.
Yeah, I think as we move on to the mid-game point here, part of the reason why Holy Angel University haven't been able to set up around that Tristana is because if they try to go for gank bot lane, there's just so much safety across Caitlyn Morgana where once you go for a gank, you just practically waste your time because you can't find anything.
True, and it's interesting that throughout this game thus far, Holy Angel University has not been on top of their control over these objectives either, allowing 2 dragons to go to Bulacan State University, not to mention the Rift Herald uncontested as well. So, looks like Bansu, we do see the reason. Bansu was actually trying to push out this bot lane, not too much success though. So, it looks like Bulacan State University will manage to secure it. Meanwhile, Ice,
Oh, he's so aggressive!
is gonna try to go without the Beerus here. Might have overestimated his damage here. Ice managed to dodge it, but no, unfortunately, Arcane Shift is down for him, and down he goes to Beerus.
Yeah, the Ezreal there not respecting the damage, but oh, Jors?
Might be in a bit of trouble. Luckily, Chris is within the vicinity. That will force Bansu to potentially make a retreat here. Joris has to be careful, though. Is a bit lower in terms of mana.
Okay, so looking back at the 1v1 top lane, the Ezreal...
Oh, Joris will get caught out by BULSU there. Cataclysm to secure the kill. But are we going to see more action though? Ralph not landing the Dark Binding, but yeah, as you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, George is stuck around too long. Fortunately for him, he gets dunked down. And a 1v1 going back.
Unfortunately.
Nice, he arcane shifts in, but he doesn't respect the damage that Ornn can dish out. Ornn is a very deceptive champion. You think he's just a tank, but if you let him auto-attack you, if you eat all those stacks from his Bellows Breath, he's just gonna destroy you.
Looks like Argumenti fight Holy Angel University gonna pop their way out of there, so no action just yet. Meanwhile, looks like the action will transpire towards top side. Chris juking it out with Beerus here. Beerus trying to pursue Chris. Gonna get quite a bit of damage on that Cho'Gath. Will force Chris to back away. He isn't quite in the position just yet to even fight here. So you're gonna notice the item difference here. Righteous Glory built up for both sides, but Beerus being an item up, already having completed the second item as well through the Abyssal Mouse, although has not managed to complete his group yet. Will Chris has his Ninja Tabi already.
Yeah, I mean, Abyssal Massacre, one of the great items you could build on Ornn. It fits him very well, just makes him even more of a 1v1 threat. And we saw him already having that, able to 1v1 Ice. Whoa, he has no E! What a flash!
That's gonna be the flash knocked up onto Ice. Ice just getting hammered on by both BULSU and Toxic. Looks like Jors actually managed to get Vengeance kill on BULSU right there, but they're gonna try to go for Toxic. All the Forge God goes to prevent them to further pursue Toxic. Grin actually getting the kill onto Jors right there, and what a fight though. Interesting to note though, I mean amidst Jors getting most of the damage onto BULSU right there, it was the Ice that secured the kill. So
yeah, and with all that being said, Grin is finally going to come online and pick up his first kill of the game. This is what Holy Angel University has to do. They need to get the Shastana fed, and right now they're using her to siege down these turrets.
Indeed, and that will be the mid turret taken down from Bulacan State University. MP was able to trade out the bottom turret though, but looks like he will be going down to Toxic amidst that turret take.
Yeah, I think he stuck around too long there, and with that being said, no Morgana to help him out. Toxic's able to pick up the 1v1 versus the Caitlyn.
Okay, let's go ahead and see Holy Angel University lingering. Goes to Stranded side, could go for a potential take, gonna shove in this turret first, gonna try to take it down. These are 4 members starting to converge. Only Ice there.
I don't think Ice can defend.
Will have to back away though, doesn't want to overstay. Could potentially get locked down by Holy Angel University. Looks like slowly back away. Ralph has to be careful, gets knocked up. Take note though, Beerus was left behind a bit there, but looks like he won't deter him necessarily. Meanwhile, BULSU does manage to secure the dragon. That does.
Oh, I think this will be a fight, Arctic. Here we go.
Here we go. BULSU indeed gonna get the knock up onto Chris. Chris was trying to walk it away, but it looks like they do manage to find the target in the form of Ralph as he goes and Toxic. Now on a killing spree. Holy Angel University starting to push in. That's gonna be the Cataclysm. Forces just flash away. That will be the 2-man shockwave. And no further kills just yet. Looks like Ralph the only casualty thus far. But it's like Holy Angel University gonna continue to
They aren't stopping!
Dual kick, no. Toxic is low on mana though. Doesn't get sniped, but is continuously pursued by Ice. That will be a little bit of heal from Gene as well as a body block to make sure that he doesn't get sniped down by that Ezreal.
Yeah, both teams not backing down, but right there we see the strength of Holy Angel University's draft. If they group up around this Shastana, it's really hard to deal with it. It's like this death ball where for BULSU, they need to split them up if they want to come out on top.
Yes, indeed. 13-7 right now on our scoreboard. It looks like gold lead is slowly tilting towards Holy Angel University. Let's go ahead and see if Bulacan State University can try to come back into this game. This is a true test for BULSU right now, because usually mid to late game, this is where they start fumbling and committing these small mistakes which have led them to some of the defeats that they did concur during the group stage and barely making their way to the playoffs by the skin of their teeth. But let's go ahead and see here. Looks like Beerus making rotation to clear out that wave, pushing in towards the soft turret. It is only a matter of time before it does go down though, just a few hits before that turret is taken. So we'll just to go check how this goes out the side.
Oh, Shockwave whiffs!
Shockwave indeed, that will be the route coming in from Toxic. Toxic cannot further pursue though. The rest of Bulacan State University has come in to respond to make sure that George is not taken down there.
And that is a huge window for Holy Angel University. They can go for an aggressive move across the map now because that one key ultimate for BULSU is gone. They are going to try and siege down this tower, but with the Orianna being up, they do have wave clear, but whoa, that Ezreal.
Oh, looks like they're starting to get work up this turret here. Unfortunately, the Hunt State University cannot defend. They're going to have to leave that turret for dead. And quite the poke here coming in from Toxic, though.
Yeah, Holy Angel University, they're beginning to raise the tempo. You're trying to end the game as quickly as possible before the members of BULSU scale. And this is really what they need to do.
Like Holy Angel University, let's go ahead and see what they'll go for next. Looks like BULSU going to continue to deny camps from Bulacan State University to make sure that they're slowly choked out and slowed down from scaling any further. Let's go ahead and see. Looking at vision though, Holy Angel University has been right on top of establishing offensive vision towards the top side, leading towards there, wanting to make sure that Bulacan State University does not have control over that side at all. But
yeah, even if the start for both teams was rather chaotic, once we did hit the mid game, Holy Angel University's experience showed and they began to play more controlled, more efficiently compared to BULSU. But whoa, Toxic, will they catch him? That's the flash!
Toxic gonna get the shockwave and just gets obliterated by all the members.
That might be Baron.
University. Let's go ahead and see what Bulacan State University will be going for next. Looks like Gene might be the next casualty here, gonna be pursued. But will he manage to blast his way out of there? BULSU though, just kind of lingering.
Oh, that pick onto Toxic was huge. That's one less layer of protection for the members of Holy Angel University. Baron being started by BULSU. There is Feast, Arctic.
Let's go ahead and see though. Meanwhile, Holy Angel University looking for a setup. Virus has quite the terrain to work with if ever he does go for calling towards God.
Here we go!
Like that will be the case. Knockup onto Chris right there. Baron is secured though by Bulacan State University. They're going to go full collapse onto the members of Angel University. Down! George managing to shut down Drin as the rest of Angel University, the Taker members, fend for themselves. And this is going to be a fight that will go in favor of BULSU right now. Beer is forced to flash away. William managed to run it out though. Ice gets the kill onto that Orn. Looks like he might find BULSU as well. Toxic a little bit in too late for that party. Knockup onto Ice though, but double kill. Secured the damages just too real for Ice. Toxic managing to secure George though. That will be a total of only 2 members from Bulacan State University to preserve that Baron buff. But
yeah, and
still,
that initial pick onto Toxic in the mid lane leads to the Baron and the team fight win for BULSU. It was very critical that they got Drin during that team fight because with it just stunned down, there's just no more damage threats left for Holy Angel University. Great play by BULSU.
16 and 12 right now, but still gold is in favor of Holy Angel University. But then again, with this Baron buff onto 2 members of Bulacan State University, both Chris as well as Ice, they could potentially reverse that depending on how they play out and take advantage of this buff. That is going to be a turret taken up towards top side. And speaking of gold deficit, has been swayed by Bulacan State University only by the hundreds, but within the next few minutes, depending on how they use this Baron.
Yeah, that Baron could have been the game if Holy Angel University picked that up. But looking at the replay of the fight here, this is a very ballsy call by BULSU going for this Baron. But Drin, he got chunked super low, and once the Cosmic Radiance times out, he jumps in front of the Orianna, not respecting the damage, and he split up from his team without any protection on Tristana. There's really nothing she can do.
Oh man, just full lockdown right there from Holy Angel University. And that's the tricky part right there. As soon as the Tristana went down, there wasn't much left for Beerus and BULSU to do because they just got full collapse on because the damage, especially if you're going to consider the heavy damage that Bulacan State University has, just got full collapse on.
Yeah, and for HAU right here, they really need to protect this Tristana, and a third Cloud Drake being started by BULSU. Now they just move super fast across the map.
It's going to be quite the rotations that they have. And
yeah, triple Cloud Drake.
And if they take full advantage of that, would allow them the upper hand as far as making sure that they could get full control through vision across this map because of their mobility. Let's go ahead and see if that will be a trend that they follow given the advantage that they have with that triple dragon deck.
Yeah, but even though BULSU has the Baron, they've left Ice to split push down the bot lane. They are forced to defend a 4v5 down mid. What can HAU take?
Let's go ahead and see. Looks like Holy Angel University allowing Beerus to tank a bit of that turret damage, though he's quite the beefy Orn, in which case. Meanwhile, take note, Ice continues to push. Nobody from Holy Angel University is making the way to go for the advance. 2-man shockwave, though, coming in. from Jors right there. That is going to be a two-man knock-up. So, onto members of Bulacan State University, Holy Angel University.
Dangerous.
They're trying to push their fight. Jors gets the kill onto BULSU. Meanwhile, Gene is eating up quite a bit of damage there onto third. Here comes the shot, but no, not able to get through though. That
think they've defended.
Nearest to leave and will be taken down by Rock. Meanwhile, only 3 members of Holy Angel University remain. They're going to try to balance things out. Drain goes down. Toxic might be the next casualty. Gets collapsed on silence and down he goes. Jors is going to get that double kill. This could be the game though. Teleport is coming in from Chris. None of the members, only Gene could defend, but I don't think one support is enough. Ladies and gentlemen, quite the reversal right there. Whole Angel University overstaying their welcome. Looks like Gene will be going down. It's continuing pursuit. Jors getting the kill.
That's
and that will be the ace. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a turret down. And with all said and done after quite the game, Bulacan State University will be taking the first game in this best of 3 series against Holy Angel University. One step closer, but it looks like BULSU going to try to defend. Ice will be taking down. That will be the shutdown though. But here comes the rest of Bulacan State University. That will be the shot game onto BULSU. Double kill for BULSU, but still is taken down. But still, that is the game. Congratulations once again, Bulacan State University.
Yeah, maybe Bulacan State University is HAU's kryptonite right there. They're able to hold out in a 4v5 situation, and with the Ezreal already split pushing down the bot lane, he made a huge wave crash and just destroyed the rest of Holy Angel University's base. Very well played defense coming from BULSU.
That was absolutely crazy. I mean, again, we're looking at first seed versus fourth seed here, and like, it could be the kryptonite indeed. Bulacan State University, they're just really flexing their guns there, and I guess it ultimately came down to Holy Angel University not respecting just how much Bulacan State University has as they transition to late game as well. And the 4v5, that was just pretty interesting in the mid lane, and it allowed Ice to just push out all the wins.
Yeah, but this is a best of 3. HAU can still force a game 3 if they're able to come out on top in the next game.
We'll just have to see Cheese still, but once again, that has been game 1. When we come back, will Holy Angel University manage to force it into a 1-1 equal, or will Bulacan State University, in what could potentially be another upset in the LCL, take down the first seed of the North Conference? We'll just have to find out in just a bit. For the meantime, we have been your casters. I'm Mark at the Sir Slam. With me is Chisto. This is the Garena Local Collegiate League 2017 Summer Term, powered by Lenovo. Challenge what you know. We'll be right back in just a few. Ever he does go for calling before it does.
Here we go.
Like that will be the case. Knockup onto Chris right there. Baron is secured though by Bulacan State University. They're gonna go full clash onto the members of Holy Angel
just down.
George managing to shut down Grid as the rest of Holy Angel University, the tanker members, fend for themselves, and this is gonna be a fight that will go in favor of BULSU right now. Beer is forced to flash away. William managed to run it out though. Ice gets the kill onto that board. Looks like he might find BULSU as well. Toxic a little bit too late for that party. Knock up onto Ice though, but double kill. Secured the damage is just too real for Ice. Toxic managing to secure George though. Toxic though coming in from George right there. That is going to be a 2-man knockup though. Dangerous. Trying to push their fight. George gets the kill onto BULSU. Meanwhile, Gene is eating up quite a bit of damage there onto third. Here comes the shot, but no, not able to get through though.
I think they've defended.
To leave and will be taken down by Rock. Meanwhile, only 3 members of Holy Angel University remain. They're going to try to balance things out. Drain goes down. Toxic might be the next casualty. Gets collapsed on silence and down he goes. George is going to get that double kill. This could be the game though. Teleport is coming in from Chris. None of the members, only Gene could defend, but I don't think one support is enough. Ladies and gentlemen, quite the reversal right there. Holy Angel University overstaying their welcome. Looks like Gene will be going down. It's continuing for sure. George getting the kill.
That
will be the ace. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a turret down. And with all said and done after quite the game, Bulacan State University will be taking the first game in this best of 3 series against Holy Angel University. One step closer, but it looks like BULSU going to try to defend. Ice will be taken out. That will be the shutdown though. But here comes the rest of Bulacan State University. That will be the shot game onto BULSU. Double kill for BULSU, but still is taken down. But still, that is the game. Congratulations once again, Bulacan State University.
Yeah, maybe Bulacan State University is
Not enough Garena shells to buy the latest League of Legends skin? On sale now? Get shells anytime, anywhere with your Globe or Touch mobile number. Go to gamer.com.ph and sign up with your mobile number and enter the verification code you will receive via SMS. Log in and choose the game and pin you want. Check out to purchase the pin with your load or through your postpaid account and receive the pin on your phone instantly. Never miss a sale on your favorite League of Legends skins and champions with Gamer.